Welcome back to Death Before Booze. I'm Sam.
I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen. And little
Sam.
Emma's with us again. Ew, you spit up on your hand. Stop doing that. Stop. Okay. So, we're having a great day. My phone died.
We're having a great day.
Work is work. My phone died. I need a new phone. We're going to have a little burial for it, I think, unless they let me return it and give me a free phone, because that would be amazing. Verizon sponsor me. But other than that...
We're getting work done on the roof, so on this side we're
you
killing
just hear
it
thump,
too.
thump, 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 thump.
Yep. So
Well, since we're having
it.
all these amazing things happen to us, Jen, what is our topic for today?
Our topic for today is, well, that sent me.
Yep.
And this is perfect for that.
All I keep saying is, today's the day. Like, it's coming. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. So
It is.
that's
It's
where
gonna be.
we are.
You know what though? We're great. We're gonna listen to some stories. We're gonna tell some stories.
We'll go touch some grass later. It's
We'll
gonna be
touch
amazing.
some grass.
Touch the grass. Take
Oh
deep breaths. Count the ceiling tiles.
Try grounding breathing techniques.
I don't even have ceiling tiles to count, so we're gonna.
Nope.
I'll count my blinds. I can count the blinds. But yeah, so we're gonna start with this. Jen going first all the time because she likes to be such a downer. Jen, tell me a story.
Okay, so I know that it's not the highlight of the case, but as I get into it, people are going to know this famous case. So I'm covering the murder of Travis Alexander.
Okay, I have no idea who that is. Should I know who that is?
Travis? No, but when you hear who's connected, then you're going to be like, oh, this story.
This motherfucker.
So Travis was born July 28th, 1977 in Riverside, California, to Gary and Pamela. When he was 8, he moved in with his paternal grandparents. His dad passed away in a car accident July 1997, and he and his 7 siblings...
What is with you? Is that what sent you? The 7? I mean, you've done more.
No, not yet.
Okay, so we're not there.
So his 7 siblings and him were taken in by his grandparents.
Wow.
Travis decided, so he didn't really have like a growing up childhood, being, the oldest of the 7, was kind of all over the place. So he decided college was not the path for him.
That's fine.
But he aspired to be a motivational speaker, which is great. I don't know,
Like Tony Robbins?
That face.
Like Tony Robbins?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Can you do something other than being a motivational speaker one day? I mean, if you're good at it, fine, and you make millions, but...
Yeah, I don't know, like the route that you would have to take.
Do you have to get like one of those life coaching things? I want to be a life coach. I think I have a friend who's a life coach, and she's pretty fucking awesome. Jess.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's call it her podcast. I don't remember what it's called, but Jess Leone, I love your podcast.
Yeah. I love Jess. She's so fun. So, he was also a devout member of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Church, otherwise known as the Mormon Church.
Oh, did he go on his little retreat, and did he have to go ding dong? Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book. Hello.
I assume he was okay with doing those kinds of things because eventually he would become a salesman and a speaker for prepaid legal services, also known as Legal Shield.
Okay.
And Legal Shield has you can do, it's basically this app where if you create wills and stuff, you have access to lawyers all the time. So it's now, I don't know if it was back then. Obviously back then it wasn't an app, but now you can get everything. You can have 24/7 talks with lawyers and stuff if you need. So it's cool.
It's like BetterHelp, but for legal aid instead of
Exactly.
therapy. Got it.
Although BetterHelp, just be careful for you guys out there with that one. I haven't been hearing such good things about that.
It's good, not great, in my opinion.
Yeah,
BetterHelp, please sponsor us. We'll say nicer things about you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Listen, I'll sell out for anything. I'm still waiting for War Raiders, the freaking iPhone game, to be like, hey,
Clash of
we
Clans.
sponsor anybody. I'd be like,
Come
hell
on.
yeah, let's do it. I'll play it. I'll fucking sponsor you.
Yeah.
I'll sell out for you.
Angry Birds.
Anyway.
I'm in.
So then he met Jodi. Jodi Arias was born July 9th, 1980 in Salinas, California to William and Sandra.
I don't even know anything about her. I just know her name. She's like a thing. That's like a thing.
Trust me when I tell you, this story's going to send you.
I'm ready.
Her mom said of Jodi, she has mental problems.
I'm sure.
She could be bipolar.
Girl,
and she said, quote,
same.
I had quite a few of her friends call me and tell me I needed to get her some help.
Wow, that's bad.
So it's really
That's
bad.
not good.
Like,
That's like the opposite of good.
like her friends, like being like, hey, I'm worried about, like, I good on her friends for
Yeah.
being like, hey, mom, just so you know. But at the same time, that's bad. That's how you
Bless
know it's
you.
almost rock bottom at that point.
Yeah.
So she went to high school until 11th grade, but she dropped out, again, not really wanting the college path. She was an aspiring photographer, and she worked odd jobs until she got a sales position at
Ooh.
Prepaid Legal.
Oh, I was going to say Blimpies or Blockbuster, but okay.
No, Prepaid Legal, the same
Good job.
company that Travis works for.
Oh,
So,
it's like love
Travis-
at first work meeting.
You know what? It kind of was for them. So Travis and Jodi met at a work conference in 2006 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ayo. I got married there.
Yeah. He told his friends after the encounter, this is the woman he wants to start his life with and marry.
Oh, that poor little Mormon boy.
Yep. The two started dating in February 2007. She eventually converted to the LSD.
LSD. Yeah, I would convert to that. Let's go.
to the LDS church.
No,
And
the
actually-
LSD church. Say it right now.
And actually, she was baptized by Travis. So it's kind of a cute, like,
euphemism for something?
no, it's a real thing. You know when the baptisms happen.
I'm
and
just making sure.
No.
I was gonna say
But
we're not that kind of podcast, Jennifer.
No. They dated intermittently for a year and a half. Usually it was long distance because she was in California and Travis was in Arizona.
Okay.
But their relationship was extremely intimate, which led to Travis having some guilt because of his faith. Because, you know, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage.
Wait, is this one of those where they have to, like, if they're gonna do it, they need a friend to jump on the bed?
What are you talking about? What?
It's like a loophole. You've never heard this? Wait, I've heard. Is this
No.
not a real thing? Okay.
I've never heard this. Maybe
There's this thing. Some religion is like you can't have sex before marriage. But some of the
Okay.
kids found a loophole, and please, if this was something and I just fell for it on like April 1st, you can tell me. But like the couple, like he'll put it in her, and then somebody will move or jump on the bed because then he's not technically doing anything. They're just laying together, and somebody else is moving him. And
Get out of here.
I am
Get
like,
out. I don't even-
honestly, I've heard this more than once, so I'm like honestly like 85% sure somebody actually does this.
You know what? This is the Catholic guilt. Like, this is the, like, knowing and growing up as a Catholic and knowing religions are very much like, you know, shame, guilt, everything.
Yeah.
Shame. So I wouldn't doubt that that's a real thing.
Yeah, I don't know who does it though. I'm like pretty sure maybe it's the Amish kids.
It's gotta be.
No, the Amish kids get to have like the week or the month or the year where they just get to go buck wild.
They get to, yeah, and then see if it's for them or not. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that was a show.
I don't know, though.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, sorry.
So, as the two continued to date, Travis's friends started to get a little worried about the relationship. They were like, Jodi's behavior is a little off. It seemed like it was tumultuous. It was just kind of the calm before the storm.
Oh, boy.
Jodi started to get possessive of him. Sometimes she'd read his emails, eavesdrop on his conversations, wait outside the bathroom for him.
Where the fuck is he going?
He's not going anywhere. That's the thing.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that for him. I hate that for her. She needs to not be such a bitch. Ow!
There was one time Jodi was hiding outside a closed door, listening to a conversation he and his friend was having. When Travis opened the door, Jodi was standing there with an evil look on her face. Like, how dare you not include me in this conversation? That clearly, it's just... So his friends were like,
I don't
she's a little
like
psycho. We've got a cling situation here. So
Stage 5 clinger.
yeah, stage 5 clinger. So eventually Travis did end things with Jodi after their 5-month dating period. So they didn't even date like
But they were
a
going to
year.
get married. This was the love of his life.
I think after that amount of time, he's like, all right, God.
I think Vegas got to him a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She ended up moving closer and dropping in unexpectedly. She eventually did move back to California after 8 months, but she not before again, like being like, here I am. And he's like,
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
you gotta stop doing that.
We need to stop
Not
eating
together
like
anymore.
this. Oh my god, I fucking hate you. Go away, you dirty bitch.
When he started to date other women,
Oh no. Oh, how'd that go? Because it didn't go well.
Jodi would slash his tires, hack his Facebook, and she harassed the women.
Super cute.
No.
Nothing possessive
That's
there.
definitely adorable.
Yeah,
definitely adorable.
This is what not to do, Em. Continue.
Yeah, don't take dating advice from her.
No,
she's
she's
a
really
fucking
not good
psycho.
at this.
Sometimes he would get so frustrated because she'd sneak into his place.
How? Doesn't he have locks? Do they not have locks?
Maybe-
Do Mormons
maybe he
not allowed to have
forgot.
locks?
Maybe he like forgot he gave her a key,
Then
or maybe
change yours.
maybe she made a lock of her own. I don't even know, but like other times he would sleep with her because that sends mixed signals.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think you should stalk people, but
No, but that's not making it better. So, needless to say, he'd get it was just mixed signals and all that kind of stuff. One of his friends even said to him jokingly, "Travis, I'm afraid we're going to find you chopped up in a freezer." So that's how creepy that she's being right now.
oh my god.
So
That's
then
funny, but it's not funny, and I feel your energy
because-
just turned because now we're
because
getting to it.
you know what's going to happen next, so you're like, "Oh, no." So, June 4th, 2008, Travis had returned home. He showered, and he missed an important conference call that night. Okay, that's not really like him. So, but again, we kind of, all right, fine, whatever. The next day, Jodi actually attended a business meeting in Salt Lake City. She rented a car, and it was noted by a coworker that she had changed her hair color from blonde to dark brown, and then she had some cuts on her hands. But she said it was fine, whatever. She made up some excuse. But he was like, it seemed okay.
Oh.
But she didn't seem shaken or anything. He was just kind of like, that's all right. Cool. Again, girls want to change their hair color, whatever.
I mean, she was going through a tumultuous breakup that took forever.
I mean, usually what do girls do? They either eat a lot or they
They chop their hair. They take
chop
up
their hair off.
drugs. They go kill
Yeah,
their
you know.
ex. I mean, there's a
I mean,
plethora
you know,
of
there's a
things.
whole lot
whole
of things.
list.
So the next day after that, Jodi left the conference and headed towards California. While she was on her drive, she called Travis many times, leaving messages, but not really hearing from him. When she did return the loaner car, it had been driven 2,800 miles, which shows it was more than just a back and forth conference trip because the conference was in Salt Lake City.
It sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. So it wasn't just I drove to Salt Lake City, I drove back. Also, the rental clerk said what was really weird was that the car was missing its floor mats and that there were red stains on the front and rear seats.
No. Bitch, call the police. It's not ketchup. That's not ketchup.
That would have been my first thing, but I guess like they just were like, oh, what a bitch. She stole our fucking car.
Our floor
rugs. Like, what?
Yeah, I hate to say it. She did not spill ketchup. She didn't have like, you know, a fucking meatball sub in the back seat and make a big mess of it. You need to. That does sound good. I'm so hungry. You need to let's call somebody. Call
I
an
feel
adult
like
to your adult
nowadays
at this point.
I feel like nowadays that's just you just protocol like I'm gonna call somebody. Even worst case scenario, it's nothing. But
Yep.
so by June 9th, so like 5 days, Travis's friends hadn't heard from him.
Uh-oh.
But now, usually he's kind of like, okay, he's the type of like text people, but then like hours go by, he'll text them
He's
back
like
type
us.
of thing.
Where you text,
Yeah, a little bit.
We text for 3 straight days, then we go 4 days without seeing each other, and then we have to fill each other and completely stop it. We have to fill each other completely on our lives.
You're like,
yeah. I'm a mother now.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. But this was too long for him to go no contact. So they were like, right, we gotta.
Fine. Check the freezer. Check the freezer.
Now, apparently, again, I don't know because I didn't look into the house. I think that he had roommates, but like it was it's a big house, but like he has roommates to the point where they're on different sides of things, like different, something like that. And I think that's probably how Jodi got in the house because she was probably like, I'm here for Travis, and they're like, okay, here I guess I'm.
You don't tell people we blacklisted her. She's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I would have.
I would have.
So they were able to get a key to his bedroom. And what they found was large pools of blood in the hallway leading to the master bedroom.
No, I'm done. Did it match the large red stains on the car?
You know, she's all over the mic. I'm like hearing like.
Are you really? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I thought like
no, it's fine. I'm like, how about because I hear like a hurricane going on in the background, and I'm like,
I am sorry. Did not realize
it's totally
that.
Fine.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
it's totally fine.
Emmy, you're causing a concern.
So, he was found in his shower dead, with 27 stab wounds, a slit throat, and a gunshot wound.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, this was overkill. This was like, holy shit.
Like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. In his shower.
In the shower?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
So, the medical examiner, Kevin Horn, would later say his jugular vein, common carotid artery, and carotid, there you go, and trachea were slashed.
Nope.
And there were no defense wounds on his hand, and it suggested that the gunshot was inflicted after he was already dead.
No.
This is not a double tap situation. I'm sorry, but you don't it's not a zombie apocalypse. You don't need to double shot them. So, the 911 call, his friends mentioned Jodi as a suspect immediately.
Yo, check out this bitch.
She's stalking him. She's accessing his Facebook page, and she even slashed his tires. So fucking...
Nope. Don't like that.
So they said, listen, she's stalking him. She's accessing his Facebook page. She's slashing his tires. She's got to have something to do with this. The police found a recently purchased digital camera damaged in the washing machine. But they were able to get the deleted images because, of course, there's always a footprint.
Always a footprint.
The photos showed Jodi and Travis in sexually suggestive poses taken at 1:40 p.m., June 4th. A photo taken at 5:29 p.m. was of Travis in the shower.
Okay.
And the rest of the photos from moments later were an individual bleeding on the bathroom floor.
What?
Yeah. A bloody palm print was found on the wall in the bathroom hallway containing DNA from Travis and Jodi.
An idiot.
And a long brown hair was found on the floor and walls. Needless to say, she's not very good at covering her tracks. So
No. She could have done better.
she was arrested, of course, for first-degree murder, and she was brought back to Arizona for the trial.
Okay.
Her police interviews. Now, if you watch these, because I watched a couple of documentaries, and they've shown her actual interview videos, she wouldn't stop crying one time.
Why?
Like, and then the person, like, she's just like, oh my gosh, she's like, that he's dead, and oh my God. They leave the room. She's totally fine.
What?
Crocodile tears are gone.
No.
Yeah. She's singing.
Singing.
She's doing
what?
handstands.
What? Wait, what?
No, I'm not joking. She's actually, this is the thing. She, like, it's bizarre, and that's why they actually stepped out of the room, because they're like, there's something off here, because she's a freaking disaster, that her boyfriend's dead, and oh my God. First of all, again, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but okay. But then the minute they leave, she just stops the emotional, cry show, and then she starts singing, and then she goes to the other side of the room and starts doing handstands against the wall, and then she kind of sits on the floor, and you're like, what is happening? The other thing is, her demeanor changed immediately when a female officer was asking questions as opposed to a male officer. So with the male officer, she kind of was a little bit more like, with the female officer, she just wanted, So
It's like she was
funny.
trying to flirt her way out. Is that what you're trying to?
Yep. Yeah, and then when you throw a female officer in there, and they tried these different techniques because they were like, let's see if she's actually fucking batshit crazy. She's batshit crazy.
She's batshit
So
crazy.
she pled not guilty because they always do. During this time, she gave several accounts of her involvement in the death. She first said she hadn't seen Travis since March. Okay. Then, when they were like, no, the
Digital camera determined that was a lie.
The digital camera shows you were there that night. Also, your blood is at the scene, your DNA's at the scene. Well, then she said, well, 2 intruders broke into the house, murdered him, and attacked her.
Well, thanks for letting us know.
And then she said she did kill him, but in self-defense, because she was with him. She took pictures, dropped the camera, and he got abusive and angry. And she's a victim of domestic violence.
That checks.
Now, no, she doesn't. Travis didn't have any defense wounds on him. So that's also a key thing to kind of like, oh, okay. Again, I'm not downplaying anybody's domestic violence, but like when your story changes 13 times, like I'm going to say.
And there was no evidence of domestic abuse before. I mean, I guess everybody can snap. I mean.
Right. But like she drops a camera and he all of a sudden is like, fuck you. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't buy it.
Are Mormons allowed to curse? Well, they're not allowed to have sex before marriage, but he was. So maybe he did say fuck you.
He could have. And he could have drank some alcohol because I don't think they're supposed to do that either.
Oh my God, why would you ever be Mormon? It's so boring. Sorry if you're a Mormon, I just said that. I don't mean that in a mean way. I know that sounded very
No,
we
it's
listen
just,
and we don't judge. I'm sorry, I suck.
So January 2nd, 2013, prosecution opened portraying Jodi as a jealous person who attacked Travis after he attempted to end their relationship. The defense, however, focused on the domestic violence and how he lunged at her in anger and she retaliated in self-defense.
He ran into my knife 10 times.
Well, in her case, 27 and a slit throat. So that's a lot.
And a gunshot.
And a gunshot.
After he was dead. Amazing.
After he was dead. Co-workers from the co-worker from the conference testified that she claimed to cut her hands on glass at a restaurant that she worked at. which found out to not ever exist.
The restaurant didn't exist?
The restaurant did not exist. She named a restaurant. It didn't exist where she said. So okay, you're not working there.
You couldn't just say Chili's? You couldn't just say Chili's?
Right, you couldn't have just said like a random chain that's probably in the area.
TGI Fridays. Bitch should have called anything but what you said.
He also said she was acting normal at the time of the conference. And the prosecution pushed the agenda that this was premeditated. She staged a robbery at her grandparents' house because that's how she got the gun. So...
Oh, shit.
She purchased a gas can and gas prior to her trip to his apartment.
Okay.
Or his house, whatever. Travis's friends Chris and Sky Hughes also testified, saying they knew Travis was a bit of a womanizer, so they tried to dissuade Jodi of dating him. But they had issues with Jodi because she seemed to be eavesdropping on their conversations with Travis.
Rude.
And then one of Travis's exes took the stand to say she never exhibited any issues with anger or violence from him. That was not who he was. Again, it's not impossible for someone to flip. Yeah. But
I was just going to say that just because he wasn't abusive with
yes,
one doesn't mean that
with one
he's not
doesn't mean
abusive or hasn't
especially
been abusive.
because Jodi was a little different, but like a little crazy. But
yeah.
A psychotherapist for the defense testified that she was a victim of domestic violence, and most victims don't come forward because they're ashamed or humiliated, which is exactly true.
That is true.
The psychologist testified Jodi was suffering from acute stress at the time of the murder, sending her body into fight or flight.
Okay.
So it would not be probable for her to premeditate the murder. However, this person's testimony was questioned as he already had a relationship with Jodi and felt compassion for her. So the psychologist knew her and was like, but
it was like her friend? Or acquaintance.
It was someone that she either she had therapy with him prior or knew him or whatever. He felt compassion for her, and he was like, I feel so bad for her. She went through all this time, and you're just like, okay. Now, the prosecution clinical psychologist testified Jodi did not have PTSD and was not a victim of abuse. Rather, she has borderline personality disorder.
Ooh, she's got lots of letters.
Lots
BPD,
of letters.
Bipolar. Mm-hmm. Oh, bipolar and border personality have the same letters. So she has BPD squared.
Yeah. Yes.
Good for her. I'm impressed.
That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but
I only have the one. But, I mean, maybe I could go for the second one.
I mean,
we could try.
I don't think you're. I wouldn't want to go borderline. That's you're over that you're too far gone at that point. So Jodi took the stand because that's a great idea.
That's a perfect idea. Yes, Jodi. Yes, queen. Let's go.
Got
Tell me how. Show me on the bear where the guy who you stabbed 27 times slit his throat and shot him after he was dead, but he did it to himself. Show me on the bear where he hurt you. Show me on the bear.
Oh my God. So she testified for 18 days. So there was a lot of like...
What the fuck do you have to say for 18 days? I mean, no offense, you and I talk for an hour or two when we do this, and like we talk throughout the weekend. Sometimes I'm like, she's gonna get so bored of talking to me. What else do we have to talk about? Like, how are you talking for 18 days?
18 days on the stand. So I'm assuming most of that time was the defense, but I feel like the prosecution did kind of go, whoa, wait a minute.
I feel like a lot of that is her crying and doing handstands in the corner.
I mean, it could very well. So she said she suffered abuse at a young age.
That's sad.
And described her sex life with Travis as intense. There was a phone sex tape that she had.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Intense? He was a Mormon. Again,
well,
Mormons.
He had been
so sorry.
No, but he had been, according to his friends, like he is a little bit of a flirt, and maybe he did have sexual relationships with other people prior to her. But you're right.
So
no,
he felt
I
guilty about
he
this,
did,
but he kept
but he kept
and he was
right.
a womanizer. Like something, the math ain't math in
There's-
here to me. I'm sorry. Like either you
However-
feel bad or you are a womanizer.
Right. So there is a sex phone tape that she had where Travis said he wanted to tie her to a tree and sodomize her, to which she replied, "That is so debasing. I like it." Okay. Now, again, I don't know if that's like a 50 Shades of Grey thing, like if they were like trying something
I
out,
guess
if they
that
were
was
just
a
kind of
thing
like back
then.
and forth. You know, I don't
Imagine
know.
if that was their phone sex and like their regular sex was just
right.
like the most.
I want to tie you to
I
a
want to
tree.
tie you to a tree, and then okay, lay on your back. We're
And
gonna do
stick this up
missionary
your
again.
ass.
Hold on, let me light a candle over here.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's.
I'm just saying.
I
We talk a big game, and then the only thing we do is missionary because he
It's
is
just
a
right.
missionary.
I.
Oh my God! I'm connecting all these fucking dots. Keep going. I'm ready.
She said their relationship started to get physically and emotionally abusive. And then when she dropped the camera while taking pictures, he got angry and abusive. She also claimed to have suffered memory loss.
Oh my goodness.
She said, quote, "Lying isn't typical and isn't typically something I do. The lies I've told in this case can be tied directly back to either protecting Travis's reputation or involvement in his death because I was very ashamed."
I'd be ashamed to kill someone too.
I
get it, but like, bitch, you still fucking did it.
Right. So for closing arguments, the prosecution used Travis's text where he refers to her as, quote, evil, to show how she's a manipulative liar.
Okay.
Okay, we have some track. So May 8th, 2013, after 15 hours, the jury found her guilty of first-degree murder.
Good job, trial jury peoples. Good job.
The 21st, Jodi offered a allocution. I think that's how you say it. It's a formal statement made to the court before the sentence, and she pleaded for a life sentence.
Instead of death? Is that what you mean? Like,
Yes,
okay.
because apparently...
Please don't kill me even though I killed someone else.
But this is apparently the opposite of what she told police or TV reporters, because of course she had to do some interviews while she was in prison. Like, why wouldn't you? So she had said she preferred the death penalty. Now, after she's already convicted, she's like, never mind. So, unfortunately, 2 days after the sentencing trial for the death penalty ended in a hung jury with 8 for the death penalty. So they called a mistrial. Mm-hmm. After another mistrial, after that sentencing, because there was a lot of craziness with courts and appeals and all kinds of bullshit. So you guys can read her Wikipedia page because goddamn, it's freaking ridiculous. There's a lot of legal shit. Prior to her sentencing, she said, quote, "I can't believe that I was capable of doing something that terrible. I'm truly disgusted and repulsed with myself."
Okay, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm repulsed by
Yeah.
you too. How about that?
Yeah. Yep.
How about that?
April 13th, 2015, she's sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Good job. Good job.
And she was ordered to pay $32,000 to Travis's family for,
Well, that's
they're
why
never
she
going to
has
see
to
that money.
do interviews because she's got to make that money to pay back the family.
Yeah.
Restitutions.
Yeah. Restitutions. But
Restitutions for the moida.
her attorney did try in 2019 to appeal the entire case by saying the prosecution acted inappropriately and created a media frenzy affecting the outcome.
Yeah, that was the prosecution's fault. You're right.
That was their fault.
That was them,
Yeah,
not her.
She wasn't the one doing the TV
Not her
interviews.
at all,
And
no.
oh
my God. Not
crocodile
even
tears on the interviews, whatever.
Look how long I can do
So-
a handstand for.
Yeah. So the Arizona Supreme Court was like, no. So they denied. They're like, no, I don't believe that.
No.
No. This is the crazy part because she has some stuff after the arrest, which I found.
What could she do? She's in jail.
She sold pieces of artwork online.
Oh my God, like Manson? How? Like Manson?
Yes. some of which was valued at $2,500.
Ew, was it actually good?
But because I looked it up, not really. So, and they weren't directly related to the murder, so therefore it didn't violate the Son of Sam law about not getting not being able to have. Yeah,
okay.
so technically it's not related. She still, even today, has a presence on social media.
She's in jail. How?
I assume they're able to give them like access to internet and stuff. So because there are some prisoners who are active online with certain things, and I guess I don't know why you still give her let her have a social media, but whatever.
I don't get that.
No, she's also received many marriage proposals because everyone likes crazy.
Men? What are men?
Everyone likes crazy. And she also says she wants to have kids one day. However, the prison does not allow conjugal visits. So
Okay, I'm so sorry. Who's that other one who had a kid who shouldn't have had a kid? Wait, hold on. There's a list. Yeah, never mind.
There's a list. Yeah. So according to fellow inmates, she has used her sexuality to manipulate prison guards and other prisoners.
Cute.
Yeah, it's, adorable. Now, this was the piece of one of the documentaries I watched. According to two inmates, one Donovan Baring and Tracy Brown Baring, she got away with more because she is, quote, a very attractive young woman who liked to flirt, and the male guards ate it up. In the 2020 documentary, Jodi Arias' Cellmate Secrets, Donovan and Tracy even allowed Jodi to tattoo them using mascara and pencil lead. Donovan also ran Jodi's Twitter when she was released. So when Donovan was released in 2009, she continued to run the Twitter. Both Donovan and Tracy considered Jodi a friend until they spoke to her mother, because her mother told both Donovan and Tracy, Jodi, about stories about her and how it didn't add up, how she was acting with them versus the stories that mom was saying. Mom was like, yeah, I got fucking things to say about her. So, and it was clear Jodi didn't care about anybody but herself.
Oh, yeah.
Quote, you crossed her in any way and you suffered. And there she is. There she is. She's in jail.
Wow.
Definitely check out the documentary. It's Jodi Arias' Cellmate Secrets, because it's very interesting. It's about her, but like these two inmates who got married and are released were like, holy fuck, she's a manipulative bitch. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So there we go.
That was amazeballs. What a wild ride. You're right. That
was wild ride.
The handstands. I can't get past the handstands. Like, I can't. I don't get that. Wow. That is something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a turn. This is very different than Jodi Arias.
Okay.
Before I actually tell you what my topic is, please indulge me as I tell you a little story. Okay.
Okay.
So, it's July 2nd, 1951, about 5 a.m., and our girl Pansy M. Carpenter wakes up because she hears a thud-type noise. So, she's the landlady for the Alameda apartment building. And this building, it has 5 apartments in one hotel room in Florida.
Huh.
Yeah. And only 2 people live there. So, her, Pansy, and a 67-year-old widow who moved there after her husband died. She came down to St. Petersburg, Florida from somewhere in Pennsylvania. They told me, and I forgot to write it down. To be closer to her son, who is like a prominent physician in the area. So now she's thinking, my neighbor must have shut her door, MBD, but she checks out in the hallway. She looks outside. Nothing's there. Nothing's out of place. She does smell a hint of smoke in the air, though. She assumes it's the garage's electric pump because it's been on the fritz, and she's like, all right, I see no flames.
Go check. No, go check it.
I see no flames.
Go check it.
Nobody's yelling or screaming. I'm going to go back to bed. Thinks nothing more of it.
Okay.
About an hour later, Pansy gets up for her day. She starts making her coffee. She walks to the front door to get her paper. She walks back into her, like, house, apartment, whatever you want to call it, because it's kind of like the rooms, the apartments, I think, face each other. Like, there's not really a hallway. Like, it's kind of outside. Again, you're in Florida, so it's kind of outside.
Okay.
But she realizes that her neighbor's radio isn't on, which is kind of weird because her neighbor, Mary Hardy Reeser, I don't know if that rings a bell. Somebody it will.
Not.
She's always up and moving by 6 a.m. Now let's talk about Mary for a little second. So the night before, Mary had dinner with her physician son, Dr. Richard Reeser Jr., and then she made her way back home around 9. When she was back at her, quote, thoroughly modern apartment, when I read the article, it was like they were like trying to sell the apartment, complete with living room, an electric kitchen, a tiled bath, and a garage.
And hot plate.
Hot plate.
And a hot plate.
Mary plopped herself into her oversized recliner in the corner of her living room, popped 2 sleeping pills, and lit a cigarette.
Oh, I don't like where that's going. There's smoke and okay.
So Pansy noted the strangeness of the morning, and again, didn't think much of it after that. Now, around 8 a.m., so this is 2 hours later, a Western Union kid arrives with a telegram for Mary. And he knocks on Pansy's door by accident. And he's like, is this Mary's apartment? She's like, no, I'm Pansy, but I can give it to her. And the kid's like, cool, great, grand, I'm on my way. So Pansy goes to knock on Mary's door and realizes the door is scorching hot. Oh, no. So Pansy starts yelling for the Western Union kid, but he's gone. And then there are these 2 painters across the road that she like kind of flags down, and they come over to help. So one of the painters looks through the window and says the bed looks slept in, but the apartment seemed empty. The second painter breaks in the door and starts searching the rooms, but he doesn't find anybody. So now there's smoke in the air, and he notices that there had been a small fire in the corner of the living room. So he goes in, does a sweep, notes the thing, and as he's walking back out, he looks in the corner again. And he finds what is left of Mary's lower left leg. A black slipper remained on her foot.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I heard that correctly. Just her leg?
Just like her lower left leg, like from the knee down, with her slipper still on it.
Where did the rest of her go?
A fire had destroyed Mary's body, but most of the apartment remained untouched. The heat had melted a light switch near the chair, but outlets a few feet lower still worked. Candles by the window had liquefied, yet their wicks stood upright. Newspapers on the water heater, inches from the burned area, showed no signs of damage at all. After an extensive investigation by the local fire department and the FBI, their findings sent me. The case of Mary Reeser was deemed spontaneous human combustion. Dun, dun, dun! Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know.
I don't even know what to say.
Isn't that crazy? Okay. So, spontaneous human combustion, or lovingly referred to as SHC, is defined as a pseudoscientific concept of the spontaneous combustion of a living or recently deceased human body without an apparent external source or ignition on the body, a belief that the fire starts within the body of the victim. I'm pausing for effect because Jen's doing a lot of motions in case you're not watching the YouTube video.
Okay. All right. I mean, I just don't understand. I can't visualize a fire inside someone being like, okay. But you know what?
Let's keep going.
I'll let you keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's see if we can connect some dots. Because to be quite honest, I'm not smart enough. So I'm kind of hoping that if I tell you, either I'll figure it out or you can tell me. Because you're smarter. Okay.
No, that's not
I don't know about that. Scientific investigations have resulted in hypotheses about possible causes, including, but not limited to, victim behavior and habits, alcohol consumptions, the proximity to potential sources of ignition, as well as behavior of fires that consume melted fats. Okay. So basically, it depends on a lot of different factors, including, if they had too much alcohol, what they do with their daily lives, and once they catch light, like once a person kind of catches fire. Why is somebody backing into my driveway? I didn't allow that. Get out of my driveway. Okay, bye, Felicia. Okay, we're back. Welcome back to your scheduled programming. And the fat that you have, how it melts, is what all the factors contributing to this spontaneous human combustion.
All right.
Okay. So the idea and the term spontaneous human combustion were both first proposed in 1746 by Paul Rowley. So he published an article in the Philosophical Transactions, and this concerned the mysterious death of the Countess Cornelia Zangheri Bandy, because apparently they found a pile of dust where she was.
Well, maybe she's a vampire and she went outside in the light.
So
she's a countess,
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying that could be an explanation. I don't know. We know that there's vampires.
The vampire... Edward was a vampire. He just glittered in the sun. He didn't turn into a ball of dust. It wasn't like Dracula dead and loving it. And you're telling me you're going to believe that a human body, whether it be 1,000,000 years old or 50, 70, whatever she was, turning into a dust just because they're a vampire within a second is more plausible than spontaneous human combustion?
I mean, again, this is why I said don't assume that I'm smarter than you.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
I mean, I don't know.
This is a lot.
I don't know. It's just a lot.
It sent me. This is why it sent me, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm like literally just talking about this because I don't know, and I want somebody smarter to explain it to me. So, okay.
I don't know.
In 1938, the British Medical Journal cited an article by L.A. Perry, which listed all the traits that spontaneous human combustion cases seem to have in common, including the victims were chronic alcoholics. But then again, I don't remember them saying that Mary was an alcoholic. She just had sleeping pills.
Yeah, she just had sleeping pills and a cigarette.
Yeah. So this is very much documented within the Victorian era because they believed alcohol was the root of spontaneous human combustion. Yeah. The victim is usually an elderly female. The body has not burned spontaneously, but some lighted substance has come into contact with it. The hands and or feet fall off. Fire causes very little damage to combustible things in contact with the body, and the combustion of the body has left a residue of greasy and really bad smelling ashes. So an extensive 2.5-year research project that included 30 historical cases of alleged spontaneous human combustion from 1725 to 1982 was conducted by science investigator Joel Nichol and forensic analyst John F. Fisher. Their findings were published in 1984 in the International Association of Arson Investigations Journal. I can't wait to subscribe to that. They also included this in their 1988 best year ever book, Secrets of the Supernatural.
All right, yeah.
They are just all over the place. So Nichol and they're like, oh, here we're gonna go in this.
It's arson. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's paranormal. Hence why, again, this sent me. So Nichol and Fisher looked at cases from the 18th, 19th, 20th centuries and found that burned cadavers were close to plausible sources of ignition: candles, lamps, fireplaces, etc. And these details were often left out of the article back in the event occurred, probably to push the mystique of the event and be like, look at what happened. This is that, you know, like, oh no, such and such burned to death and we don't know where it started. But they also found a correlation between alleged spontaneous human combustion deaths and a victim's intoxication level, whether it be alcohol or drug related. This could have caused them to either be careless with a flammable source and or unable to respond properly to an accident occurring. Okay. In the cases where the destruction of the body was not particularly extensive, the victim's clothing or covering, such as a blanket or comforter, may have caught fire and caused the body to burn.
All right.
However, wherever the destruction was extremely extensive, additional fuel sources were involved, like chair stuffing, floor coverings, the flooring itself. So everything around it caught on fire. The explanation being that such materials helped to retain melted fat, causing the body to be burned and yielding still more liquid fat. So, all right, this is called the wick effect or the candle effect. And basically what they're saying is something catches fire. It then attacks the skin, the human skin, which splits, releasing subcutaneous fat, which then gets absorbed into the clothing, the blanket, the what have you, acts as a wick, and the cycle just keeps going, and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter until it finally just kind of burns itself out. But everything within so far is burning. However, it's not going sideways. So like the fire goes up, it doesn't go out. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense for a wick. Like it makes sense that it's okay.
Yeah, like if you have a candle, the fire goes up. The fire doesn't like spit out to the sides. Like that's kind of what they're trying to say.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why objects around it usually remained undamaged. And then in 2002 study, Angie M. Christensen of the University of Tennessee found that when human tissue is burned, the resulting flame produces a small amount of heat, indicating that the fire is unlikely to spread far from the burning tissue. So another reason why like the whole house doesn't go up in flames.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All right, so some more explanations. Smoking is often seen as the source of the fire. Natural causes, say like a heart attack. Somebody has a heart attack while they're smoking their cigarette. They drop the cigarette. Their blanket catches on fire. They catch on fire. Then the wick effect occurs.
Okay, gotcha.
Brian J. Ford, and this is the one that like sent me. Like once I started really researching it, like this is what kind of sent me is this Brian J. Ford. He suggests that ketosis, possibly caused by alcoholism or low-carb dieting, produces acetone, which is very flammable and could lead to a spontaneous combustion within the human body. I'm sorry, how many people on Atkins have like randomly burst out into flames? Just asking. I'm asking for a friend because I have a friend who's doing this right now, and I'm kind of worried about her if this is really a thing, Ashley.
I mean, especially if they're gonna just, combust.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be concerned. I kind of like her, but yeah,
that's scary.
So that's his thought on it. That's his explanation. This one's kind of sad. That spontaneous human combustion could be confused with self-immolation as a form of suicide. So that's where like you set yourself on fire. Oh. Yeah, that one made me. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that one's not okay.
No. Larry E. Arnold wrote in his 1995 book, Ablaze, with an exclamation point. He proposed a pseudoscientific new subatomic particle that he named the pyrotron. Pyrotron. I want to be a pyrotron. Anyway, Arnold wrote, so he's like, it's a subatomic particle. It makes you burn up. Then he wrote that the flammability of a human body could be increased by certain circumstances, again, your blood alcohol level, and that extreme stress could trigger many starts of combustions. I would be burning all the fucking time. Have I mentioned my phone took a shit this morning? I should be burning. My hair should be on fire. I should be running around.
Yeah, I feel like, no, that's fair.
You could tell me I'm wrong. I will totally accept that.
No. I'm thinking myself too. I'm like, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. In his 1976 book, Fire from Heaven, UK writer Michael Harrison suggested that spontaneous human combustion is actually connected to poltergeist activity because he argues the force which the force which activates the poltergeist originates in and is supplied by a human being. End quote. So if we can produce a poltergeist, we can set ourselves on fire from the inside out. That's not the worst. It's at least it's not a subatomic particle.
But it's not like a party trick that you can just turn on it and be like, hey guys, check it out. Like that's kind of what I'm getting from that.
But if we look at other poltergeist cases, which I should really cover a poltergeist. If we look at other poltergeist cases, it's not like the girl is like, look, watch me open and close the cabinet doors. It just happens, and everybody's like, oh my god, a poltergeist. Blah. Like,
I guess that's fair. I literally from his explanation, I just was like, what are we being like? Well, since we can be poltergeist, we can also do this. It's like, oh god, here I am on fire. No, I'm not.
I think it's more that like it's because we can create a poltergeist type of action is to burn something.
Okay.
Like a poltergeist can burn something. So it's like instead of it being like an outward poltergeist, it kind of just takes you from the inside and you burn up. Like that's kind of how I understood it. Again, I am not that smart. We are just learning together.
Better than what I said, so
we're all learning together. And then finally, John Abraham's son. Oh, I bet you his name.
Bromison.
Oh, wait, is that it?
I don't know.
Oh. Anyway.
I'm just messing around with his name. I don't know.
Well, Abramson. That's it. Now, John Abramson suggested that it could be ball lightning. Ball lightning could account for spontaneous human combustion. And in case you didn't know what ball lightning was, because I didn't know, it is a rare and little known kind of lightning having the form of a moving globe of light, and it's like centimeters in diameter that persists for periods of up to a minute.
Inside of you?
Outside.
Or
outside. So instead of it being like a lightning strike that goes like from the ground up, it turns into a little ball and it floats in the air. So in all these places, magically, whether there's a thunderstorm or not, there must have been like some sort of ball lightning and it hit somebody and then they died. And they combusted.
Oh. Okay.
Right. I think my favorite's the poltergeist. I'm not going to lie, but let's move on.
Yeah.
So here are some other examples of spontaneous human combustion. And then I'm done. So the first is John Irving Bentley. He was a 92-year-old former physician. He was found on December 5th, 1966 in his bathroom in Cloudersport, Pennsylvania, burned to death. All that was left of Bentley was the lower half of his right leg with the slipper still on it. The rest of his...
Just like Mary,
but the opposite leg.
Oh.
Opposite leg.
Just
still in his slipper, though.
Oh.
Very good. The rest of his body had been reduced to a pile of ashes that was found in the basement below the bathroom.
So
he burned so hot there was a hole in the floor. His walker lay across the hole in the floor created by the fire, and the rubber tips on his walker were still intact. Oh. That was one of those things I was like, no fucking way. Like, no fucking way.
Oh, that's... Okay.
The nearby bathtub was barely scorched. And everything else was fine. It was literally just a hole in the ground. His ashes were at the bottom. His walker was like over it, and his right leg was left. And his leg, yeah.
His
leg was hanging out. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
It's not funny, but it's like, oh my god. Okay, then there's on March 28th, 1970, Margaret Hogan, who's an 89-year-old widow. She lived in Dublin, Ireland. Her house was completely untouched. There were plastic flowers on a table in the center of the room that had been reduced to liquid. The television was melted, and that's at 12 feet away from her. The armchair in which her ashen remains were found was burned. But not the whole armchair, just like part of the armchair. Otherwise, the surroundings were absolutely untouched. Her 2 feet, both her legs below the knees, were left undamaged.
What is it with the just
Do you
below
see
the knee?
why I was like, dude, this sent me? Like, it's the
But, like,
weirdest
literally,
thing.
the
I hate
rest
it.
of it,
Everybody's
like,
got,
what are, like,
everything is dust.
Is just below the knee, like this. There, it's like that's the stopping point. We're not turning this into dust.
You know.
Like what? Like it's just so weird that it's that. Like it's the
Crazy.
leggies.
It's just
Every
legs.
time
Legs
it's
and
the
hands.
leggies.
Sometimes it's a hand.
And sometimes it's
A slipper. In 1980, Henry Thomas, a 73-year-old man, was found burned to death in his living room in South Wales. Most of his body was incinerated, leaving only his skull and part of each leg below the knee. The feet and legs were still clothed in socks and trousers. So, like,
They didn't fall down. It wasn't like beep.
well, they might have fallen down, but
But there's
still clothing on it. So, like, if he was wearing trousers, that's pants, right? That means that his pants burned up to the knee and then just stopped. It just stopped burning.
This is like a cartoon, you know, like
Yes!
the Looney Tune cartoons,
And
where
just-
the dynamite goes off, and it's
And he
just like
turns
his
it into
eyes
the-
or his
Yes!
right.
Yes.
That's literally what this
It's
is.
driving me insane.
Like
How?
how did the pants not just go, you know, even like fizzle out? Like it's got, again, it's below the knee thing. Like for whatever reason, the body doesn't like, okay, but like,
I mean, it's probably the furthest from wherever the fire started. But you would think if
Right.
the pants caught on fire, it would then travel all the way down the leg of the pant and not just stop at the knee.
Yeah. I don't.
Wait. So he's sitting in this chair, right? Only half of the chair was destroyed. Crazy.
I don't understand.
I don't know either. Police forensic officers decided that the incineration was due to the wick effect.
So what? The top of the chair was affected, but not the bottom.
Oh shit! I don't know what half of the chair was. I think I kind
It
of
probably
pictured
was
it being like the right half or the left half. But you're right. It was probably the top half of the chair.
But it makes sense, right? Because of the wick
Yeah, it
effect
would
they're
go up.
saying. So
You're
it makes
right.
sense that because why would the bottoms be burned? Because his legs weren't.
His legs weren't burned. You're right. What the fuck? Right? Okay. In December of 2010, the death of Michael Faraday. So he's a 76-year-old man. In County Galway, Ireland, was recorded to, quote, spontaneously combust by the coroner. The doctor said, quote, this fire was thoroughly investigated. I'm left with the conclusion that this fits into the category of spontaneous human combustion for which there is no adequate explanation, end quote. So, like, it's on his death certificate that he died from spontaneous
like-
human combustion.
They're like, that sounds about right to us.
Yeah, that works. So, just some...
So
Sorry, go ahead.
I just had a bad thought, so I feel like I should.
Oh
share
my
it
god, I
then,
love
but,
bad thoughts. Tell me everything.
So listen, if they're spontaneously combusted, except for like their little leggies, right? Do you cremate the rest of the body, or do you?
Oh my god. Wait, can I add on that really bad thought? So now you have this body with this like leg, right? But all of the remains are ash, and they're all ash within ash of whatever was around it. So are you actually burying the ashes of your loved one or the ashes of the chair that your loved one was sitting in? What is wrong? Do you see why this sent me? Do you understand why I see this? This is like my new Roman Empire. Like, because every time now I have agita, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, am I spontaneously human combusting? Like,
well, not for anything, but like people over a certain age, I'm like, wait a minute, do I have to bubble wrap them? So
don't bubble wrap them; they'll melt.
Oh, that's true. Oh my god, that's right.
Flammable. Don't do that.
What do you do?
Cover them in foam. I don't know.
Here's some ice. Cool down.
Oh, I'm sweaty.
Oh my god.
You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean?
I'm sorry. I just went with like how do you just go, yeah, just cremate the rest of the body. Hopefully, if they do cremate the rest of the body, they get maybe a discount because like it's not the whole body.
Can you just throw this leg in with Mars down the street?
I'm sorry. Just keep.
Oh my god, it's like buy one, get one half off.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But not even half. It's just not even a quarter of a person.
Oh my god.
Just ignore this and keep going. I'm sorry. I just don't know even why that thought came.
$5 foot long.
Now we're just there. And we're here. Oh my god.
I can't breathe.
You know, I didn't know that today that would be a thought that I had. But here we are.
I'm crying.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope that this gets you through your Tuesday commute. Oh my god, I'm sorry. This was it was inappropriate.
Okay. So, if
we're professional,
I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form. Not even a little bit. All right. So, if hi, if you have heard of spontaneous human combustion before, it could have been from these pop culture references. In the novel Red Burn by Herman Melville, published in 1849, a sailor, Miguel Saavedra, is consumed by animal combustion while in a drunken stupor.
Okay.
In The Bleak House by Charles Dickens, the character Mr. Crook, he dies of spontaneous human combustion at the end of part 10. Charles, write less.
Seriously.
In the 1984 mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, two of the band's former drummers are said to have died in separate on-stage spontaneous human combustion incidents. In the beginning of the 1998 video game Parasite Eve, an entire audience in Carnegie Hall spontaneously combusts.
Oh.
The phenomenon is mentioned in the TV series The X-Files. In the 7th season episode, quote, Mars Attacks on the medical drama ER, a patient is treated for, quote, spontaneous human combustion and subsequently catches fire in the ER. And finally, South Park devoted an entire episode titled, quote, Spontaneous Combustion to spontaneous human combustion, and that is the end of my case.
Wow.
What did we learn?
I learned you need to like freaking watch people that are over a certain age because you really like apparently at any point you could just be walking your dog and there you go.
So I think
and just your leggies are left.
When somebody turns like 70 from now on, I think I'm going to make sure I bring a super soaker.
Yeah,
and then just
or like a tub of ice and just be like, all right,
just in case.
Sit in this, please.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I've also learned that
that's great. It's great.
if you don't see the red flags that everybody else is seeing, maybe get your eyes checked because you might be colorblind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that today. That's what I learned.
Yeah. That's that's a good one. I like that one too. But yeah.
Well, thank you.
That sounds great.
Thanks so much for
thanks
hanging
for
out
listening, guys.
again. Make sure you're following us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram. I think we have a LinkedIn, but I never post there. We have other things. I don't remember. But LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram and Facebook are our big ones.
Mm-hmm.
So like, subscribe, comment, share. Shares are really big now. That's like the new algorithm thing instead of hashtags. If you're on YouTube, we're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, click the bell. That way you know when we post something else. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please rate and review the show. That really helps us out. If you are all caught up and want to hear more of our crazy nonsense, join us on Patreon. You can get there from our website, deathbeforebooze.com. While you're there, make sure you check out our merch page. And if you want to know about all of the sources we've used, see any of the pictures of the things we talked about today, they are also over there on deathbeforebooze.com on our blog. I think I covered everything. I love you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
All right. Love you guys. Stay spooky.